Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I do want to talk about something pretty interesting, a topic that I've been talking about a lot on this channel, and that is the next Nintendo Direct. Nintendo usually does hold a June Nintendo Direct. South4K over on Twitter puts it in a very good way. Nintendo typically has a Nintendo Direct of some kind in June. For the last few years, it aired in the second half of the month. And these are the dates that he says on the tweet. 2017, June 13th, 2018, June 12th, 2019, June 11th, 2021, June 15th, 2022, June 28th, 2023, June 21st, and 2024, June 18th. These dates were all June Nintendo Directs, and the fact that the last couple are in June, the back half, and the fact that we're at the 10th mark right now, 10th day of June, have no idea why I said it like that, but let's just go with it, means that we might have a Nintendo Direct next week. Now, my initial theory was this. Summer Game Fest and Gamescom were things that I thought Nintendo was going to give us a lot of different Nintendo Switch news, but Summer Game Fest has now since ended on a lot of their showcases, like from Xbox and indie devs and all of the devs that are bringing games to the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series X, and we didn't really get a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 games. There were some, yes, but there wasn't a lot. The reason why I thought Nintendo was going to announce games there is because they said that they were going to Summer Game Fest, and I guess they kind of went, but not really. To be honest, I didn't really notice them too much. And even more so, a lot of these games didn't even have the Nintendo Switch 2 logo. Like the new Call of Duty, that didn't have the Nintendo Switch 2 logo, which we know that they have a deal with Xbox to bring the Nintendo Switch 2 to the platform, or bring the game to the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know why I said it like that, but yeah, they were supposed to be bringing Call of Duty to the Nintendo Switch 2 day one, the same as Xbox, and it's not announced. Now, when you pair that with the recent stuff about the rumored Nintendo Direct that was supposed to happen in June, or at least from PH Brazil, he has since backtracked that after Nate the Hate, another Nintendo insider, says he hasn't heard anything. So pair all of that with Nintendo just having a lot of different games already set up, I thought, I wonder if they're just going to do a September Nintendo Direct and skip June altogether. But some recent things have kind of made me wonder, maybe that's not what they're going to do. Are we actually going to get a June Nintendo Direct? If you guys didn't hear about this, we have a new Splatoon game. I'm sure pretty much everyone's heard about it by now. But the interesting thing that they said on there is that new details later on. Now, usually those details are in a Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo Direct that's specific to the game. Not only that, but it's adding new content into the game, and there's going to be a Nintendo Switch 2 version. So when they say tune in later, are they going to be doing a June Nintendo Direct? Now that we really haven't got anything from Summer Game Fest, we basically have until September until we don't really have too many games on the horizon. Of course, we still have Metroid Prime 4, but that doesn't have a release date. And then we have Pokemon Legends ZA, and then a couple third-party games here and there. But in terms of setting up the next 6 months, which is usually what a Nintendo Direct does, we really don't have a lot. And I'm talking about after September, because we of course still have Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is a really big release, and then we have other third-party games, and of course we have still Metroid Prime 4, which I still fully believe is going to be November, because Pokemon Legends ZA is in October, so like why would you put it in the month of Christmas or even after Christmas in January? That would be really weird. That'd just be a really weird choice. Unless it's gonna be delayed, which I really hope it doesn't, but I guess we'll see on that. So if we do get a June Nintendo Direct, we could be seeing it in the later half of this month, like Stealth40K over on Twitter says that we usually do get it in the back half of the month. Now that's not really the only sign that's pointing towards a Nintendo Direct happening soon. Summer Game Fest itself does make me wonder, is the reason why we haven't seen any games from there is that they're waiting to announce it in a Nintendo Direct? When it comes to Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch, like I said, we know that they're supposed to be bringing it to the Nintendo Switch day one. So the fact that the devs came out and said this right here, committed to getting the franchise on Switch, both teams are working on it, we'll share details when ready. So it's very clear that they do have some stuff coming and they need to share details when they're ready. Now I do wonder if that just means that they need to wait for the Nintendo Direct to happen and Nintendo wants to announce it during their Nintendo Direct and not in Xbox's showcase. Now, I'm not just saying that out of nowhere, because remember, Summer Game Fest didn't have a lot of Nintendo Switch games. Even games like the Persona games, that wasn't announced at the Xbox showcase either, because they also did have the PS5 and PS4 on there. So where's the Persona 4 remake for the Nintendo Switch 2, right? That really makes me wonder. It is a little suspicious. You pair that with the Splatoon stuff, and it is kind of pointing towards a Nintendo Direct that's happening in June very soon. Now, I do have to say, we could just not get a Nintendo Direct in June. That's still a possibility. The fact that Nintendo is okay with dropping Splatoon 3, a new spin-off game, on Twitter, though, is really suspicious. It's almost like they are really confident in the Nintendo Switch and stuff that they already have planned, which really makes me wonder, what exactly is planned for the future of the Nintendo Switch. I feel like that's one of the most exciting things about the Nintendo Switch 2, other than just a brand new console, is that we are going to be getting all of these crazy new games, especially with the power of the Nintendo Switch 2. What are they going to create? And that's why a June Nintendo Direct would be really exciting, or just Nintendo Directs in general, because we just don't know. To me, that unknown of unknown games is very alluring. Now, I do have to say, if we do get a June Nintendo Direct, the real big question is, why are they announcing it now? Why not just wait until September? And are there going to be any big games announced, right? Because remember, we already have quite a lot of big games in the coming months. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends ZA, Metroid Prime 4 is a 2025 game. We have those updates for like Kirby games and other games, and then we have third-party games and indie games. So I really feel like Nintendo is quickly approaching the oversaturation point if they end up announcing big games throughout the leading up until September. Don't know why I said it like that, but you guys know what I mean. The big question is, would this be a Nintendo Direct, or would it be a part of Nintendo Direct? Because remember, they didn't have a lot of stuff from Summer Game Fest, so maybe they're going to be doing a Nintendo Direct, or equally, this would be pretty interesting actually. They could always have two Nintendo Directs. Have a big Nintendo Direct and a part Nintendo Direct, and that could be why we're not having those third-party games on the Xbox Showcase for the Nintendo Switch 2. The reason why I say that is because the Nintendo Switch 2 is a very important platform for Nintendo right now. Remember, they don't have the sales for the original Nintendo Switch now. Now they have to make sure that a ton of games are coming to the platform, and big games and exciting games. They need to do things to draw people in. They need for the Nintendo Switch 2 to be very alluring to those original Nintendo Switch owners, and of course, other people as well, who maybe didn't pick up our original Nintendo Switch, but are excited about the new power that the original Switch had, and sees games like Call of Duty coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, Cyberpunk, the new Doom game, and all that kind of stuff. This is of course assuming that all of these games are coming. I mean, Call of Duty is gonna come, I'm just wondering about Black Ops 7. And of course games like the new Witcher as well. Like those games that draw more people other than people who typically play Nintendo games, or buy the Nintendo Switch for, Nintendo platform games. That's what I mean. So having all of these marketing points with the Nintendo Direct, and maybe a partner Nintendo Direct, or even an indie Nintendo Direct, something like that, having two Nintendo Directs is very fantastic. They've done this in the past. In fact, around the Nintendo Switch 2 launch, we had two other the Nintendo Direct for the Nintendo Switch 2, we had other Nintendo Directs around that too. So Nintendo is really no stranger to announce multiple Nintendo Directs. And not only that, but we can also get Twitter drops like we had recently with the Splatoon game as well. So Nintendo has a ton of options to fit new announcements, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a Nintendo Direct or two Nintendo Directs. It's really interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think Nintendo's gonna do, because I'm all jumbled up, as you can tell from this video. I don't know what Nintendo's gonna do. Overall, I am still excited for the future of the Nintendo Switch, and if you are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, speculation videos. I also cover news, leaks, and rumors, and of course, for that big animation video I am working on in the background too. That's why a lot of my videos going forward are just voice behind gameplay, because I am working hard on the animation side to bring you guys a video on the 1993 Mario, and then after that, we're going to be doing a video on Wind Waker, and then maybe, I don't know, Pokemon or something. I don't know what the third one would be. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.